the facade in left center field. Talk about Stanton territory. Trout hammers it, and it's 4-4, 473 feet.
Now, here are your hosts, Patrick Harris and Joe Fisher on 1080 The Fan.
Welcome into the Hot Corner. For it is a Tuesday, for it is always Tuesday, but a very different Tuesday, because we are down to Patrick Harris. Sans Patrick Harris tonight. Joe Fisher III rocking with you. And, of course, across the glass, Jordan Schultz.
Let's go.
A very contentious Hot Corner tonight, because my Orioles, that's right, my Orioles, fresh off of a series sweep of the White
Orioles.
Sox.
Congrats, by the way. That was nice over the weekend.
Someone's got to be the bottom feeder of the American League, and it's not us. In fact, we've leapfrogged the Oakland Athletics now. They're terrible. And so now we're going to get back-to-back series wins here, baby. Your Mariners should be shooketh after what has happened the last week.
I mean, what did I say in the update? Literally clinging to first place in the AL West by .002 percentage points in the win column. It's ridiculous.
You know who I blame in all this? I blame my son, Joey the Fourth, because he is he's a Mariners bandwagoner. He has no idea what's going on with them, but as soon as he sees a couple wins come across the board, he lets me know. And so I think it was Thursday morning, he hits me with, "Hey, Mariners won 9-0 last night." I was like, okay, that's enough out of you right away. And then Thursday, Mariners lost 9-1 to the Nationals. And then, forgive me, I don't know what happened on Friday to the Nationals or how that series ended. And then the Twins weekend, it was all over the place. There was extra inning games and walk-offs and giving up 7 runs. It's been a tumultuous week for the Mariners, all over the place.
Oh yeah, no, they lost.
And now you got my Orioles on a hot streak coming in. This is a big series for both teams.
I mean,
I would say it's bigger for probably you since you're winning games. But hey, my Orioles, they're gonna climb back up, win 16 in a row, and then we're back at 500.
You did do something that even the Mariners couldn't do. You swept the White Sox. They could only get 2-1 against them in that series. So
we're on the come up, baby. We're on the come up.
New manager, new look, right?
We'll get to that a little bit more in the other segment. But I have discovered something today that has me miffed. That has ruffled my feathers, ruffled my skirt a little bit in this radio world. I came in and sat in with Danny, and
long day for you, by the way. Good job.
That's how Tuesdays roll. I'm here at usually 9 a.m. and I'm here until 9 p.m. 12-hour days. I'll be putting that work in, baby. But I walk in, I come into the studio, and I get my mic cover, my microphone cover, this thing that covers the actual microphone, so
mic condom. Yes,
it can eliminate the pops and the sizzles that you hear on the radio,
the sibilance or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
And I grab my mic cover. Again, I emphasize my mic cover because I know that my mic cover is very different than everybody else's. And then I say to Danny as he walks in, I was like, dude, I saw my mic cover over on that microphone. What the hell? And he's like, that's my mic cover.
Oh, no.
And it creates this back and forth. I'm like, no, that's mine. No, that's mine. Mine is very distinct. It is flat on the bottom. And he says the same thing. That's how I know it's mine. It's flat on the bottom.
What a great start to the show.
I say, no, not true. And I don't know what happened at one point, but my box with my mic cover got moved around enough to the point where I'm like, screw it. I'm throwing the box away, and I'm just putting my mic cover in this communal box of mic condoms that we have.
Bad idea, bro.
And then I think that's where Danny, he just so happened to see it, and he staked his claim. And then I come into the studio after primetime, and the mic cover's on Sook's mic. So I just have this mic cover being passed around like the $2 Vegas whore that Patrick Harris is probably mingling with. and I'm not happy.
Go back to the days of like radio in the 90s, brother. What are you doing? We're supposed to have this happened, I think, slightly before COVID, where stations finally started giving.
It happened after COVID because we realized how disgusting it was.
Well, at our old station, we complained enough. I was sick of getting onto the microphone and seeing just dried up like bits of chewing tobacco
some crust.
from 4 years ago and having to put my face near that. So we eventually got new ones.
Jason Swigard's spittle on there.
Yeah, other personalities that will not be named because A, they don't work here, and B, I can't embarrass them, so I won't. But it's just like, I don't know, now we're in 2025, so a recent 4 to 6 year thing in the business. And I guess we don't really know how to handle that yet as personalities. Like, I always keep mine in my bag, in my little man purse. And I think putting it in a communal area is just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, now I'm upset because Danny was very staunch saying that was his mic cover, and I could not have been. I was mad. I said that is not true, sir.
It's like the Spider-Man meme with all y'all pointing at each other.
Yes,
it's like this is mine.
And then again, I see Sook using it, and now I'm using it. I feel like she's cheating on me. And she's saying, I wish you would understand. It wasn't meant to be like this. Now I got to go order my own mic cover. I need to get one of the colorful ones because they have different ones that you can order. I feel like I need some pizzazz in my life and my mic cover.
Yeah, get your favorite color, match your hat for that particular day, something like that.
Just get like 10 different mic covers.
No, they have them.
And have one to match each outfit every time I go.
Go buy like an Amazon Prime pack for like $11. You get like a 6 or 7 pack of all the colors of the rainbow, brother. It's Pride Month, and I've got every mic cover I ever need.
Yeah, here we go. 10-pack microphone cover on Amazon for only $12. What a steal.
See, what did I say? 7, you actually get 10.
How about that?
It's not bad. I'd love me a teal mic cover. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I got to find one that fits this mic specifically. Look at this. They have like one that's like a little baggy. Like you put it around and then it's like a zip, like kind of one of those pull tab ties that tightens around the microphone.
Really fancy.
Look at that.
You know, the same thing that
Someone had a Kickstarter go well.
Oh, good for you, buddy. Probably, made him a millionaire instantly with just some dumb idea. I still got to do that. Some toilet idea. Like
Hi, Sharks. I have the best new innovative mic cover idea.
What does Michael Scott from The Office like? He just keeps coming up from like different toilet after toilet idea that just doesn't work. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could be like that. No, this happened to me actually with Swag as well. I did not know he has the same middle initial as I do. My mic cover has a very faded JTS on it.
Oh.
And I left it in here, Joe. Like you leave it in the communal area.
You should have marked it. You should have marked
it
in a different way.
Apparently.
I should have marked mine.
Because I saw it on the mic after he was doing a shift, and I'm like, yo, Swag, that's my mic cover. And he's like, no, I'm JTS. And I'm like, do you really remember marking your microphone?
Jason Theodore Swigard.
Apparently. I did not know his middle name, but thought it was his.
Jordan Tito Schultz.
Thomas.
Oh.
It's pretty boring.
That's not as fun.
Theodore? No, I got 2, Thomas Maurice, but maybe I just need to do that from now on. I'll just use both.
Jordan T. Oscar Schultz.
I like that, although I'm kind of bitter, too. It just makes me think of what could have been.
Can you imagine?
If I'm a Seattle fan.
T. Oscar's your given middle name, and then years later, you get a T. Oscar on your team, and he's okay, but then does even better once he leaves.
Not good enough for your team to re-sign him, and then he kicks ass. Yeah. I think I would cry even harder than I did. You're probably right.
Well, that's. I guess I just need to get a new mic cover that is distinctly mine, so that way there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Bro, I would go with that 10-pack. Like, there's also some point in your life where this is black. It's hard to see if I'm looking like in a drawer of electronics with a bunch of black cords. Just get me something bright colored. Like, I'm getting old, I don't need to see like golf balls that are white anymore. Just give me the yellow. Like, there's a certain point where everybody hits that point, and I think you can do that with the mic covers.
Maybe I should
brighten neon.
Take this and bedazzle it, put some sequins on there or something, some glitter.
It's the month for it.
Give it to my niece and just go crazy. Go crazy, Scarlett.
This is your summer project.
I have little tassels hanging off of it.
Are you graduating? What the hell are you doing?
No, I mean like little diamond tassels.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Oh,
like the I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Little burlesque action going on your mic cover.
Well, yeah, I'm looking on websites. Good deals all around. You know what I also realized? That Amazon Prime, man, pretty good.
Yeah, Sprague tried.
I got
to
this
drop
water
it.
bottle You can hear it. You can hear the water bottle.
That's massive.
That's good ice. It is massive, but I wanted a massive water bottle. And I wanted one that would fit in my cup holder in my car. I also wanted the dual lid with a straw and the big old spout.
Kicks the hell out of a Stanley, bro.
Oh, dude, you're getting raked over the coals if you're paying for a Yeti. I'm telling you. But I bought that thing on Thursday. Showed up to my house on Friday.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Amazon Prime's a beautiful thing. No, I lament Sprague for trying to get rid of it and basically trying to go cold turkey and live like what we're back in like 1999 where you have to actually go to the store and buy stuff.
Or wait 5 days.
Yeah, or just, deal
What are
with
you-
the normal shipping time.
what
Which
are you,
is,
a caveman?
No, it's interesting how much you look on Amazon at things that could be delivered to you like overnight 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. delivery. You're
And-
like, oh, this is all sitting in that warehouse down in Woodburn.
Yeah. I thought
Amazing.
Amazon was gonna pull a fast one on me and say like, oh no, it'll be there tomorrow. It's gonna be there tomorrow by 10 p.m. And I'm like, you're leaving that window open just in case it doesn't get here.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, oh, sorry, it's gonna be there Saturday, but actually we don't have as many drivers on Saturday, so it'll be there on Monday. Sure enough, sure as S, it was here the very next day. I couldn't believe it. It was one of those where I should have never doubted them to begin with. But now I am drinking 32 ounces of water at least 3 times a day, hopefully.
Just because of that water bottle. That was the factor that
Dude, have you
changed
ever
your life.
had ice water before? It's fantastic.
I am a huge ice water guy.
You ever heard of this thing called drinking water? It's quite nice.
Ice technology, like Velcro and ice, are two of the greatest inventions of all time. So-
Velcro and ice.
yes, because they A, keep things closed, and B, keep things cold.
Velcro.
Yes. This is like Wild Wild West stuff we're talking about. I've been watching the final season of Yellowstone, so I've been, I don't know, old school. And but like ice in water, I kind of laugh at people that don't do that. Thankfully, my sister-in-law lives in another city, so she won't hear this. Her wife has to remove the ice out of the glass when we go to a restaurant with a spoon for her. She is so anti-ice, Joe, that she does not have ice at her house if you show up as a guest.
That
See,
anti-ice?
yes.
How are you that anti-ice?
Imagine showing up as a guest. You're like, oh, yeah, like, what did you like to drink? You want some water? You want some juice? Sure, I'll take some water. Usually, I would offer that up. Hey, would you like ice or not?
So she either has OCD or she has some bodies hiding underneath the house in the foundation, something like that.
I think it's OCD.
Scooping the ice out?
It is too cold for her, and then that obviously influences her to not give ice to any guest coming to the house. That's one thing. I love her family. They're all awesome, but when I go over there, I just prepare. All right, I'm gonna have lukewarm drinks for the next 2 hours, which like I said, I'm fully on for ice. I love having drinks on the rocks. Give me that ice.
Oh yeah, I'm a big ice over here. Big ice supporter. I'm bullish on ice. I'm bullish on water now. I've been just crushing water over the last couple of months, and I don't know what's wrong with me, why I never did it before. All right, let's get into some baseball stuff. I do want to talk about this Orioles-Mariners series in a little bit because we'll get a few more innings in, and it will make things a bit more interesting. I want to talk some Beavers baseball, college baseball, and the only reason I'm doing this is because I know Patrick Harris would not allow it. He is... And I want to almost try and figure this out. Maybe the text line can help us with this. Why does Patrick Harris not like baseball? Because he says it's the metal bats, but I just don't believe it.
He's not a college baseball guy.
No, and I don't understand.
This is literally a baseball show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to
Okay.
figure out what the hell's the matter with him. But we will also be talking about Oregon State Beavers, the super regionals being not so super after all, perhaps. We got to talk about a particular player that is playing in this Orioles-Mariners series. Also have a Ohtani Judge question for you. And then the flavor of the week. Who is the team that is the flavor of the week, and who's the team that is falling out of favor in MLB? We get to all of that next. Joe Fisher here with you. Across the glass is Jordan Topanga Schultz, and this is the Hot Corner, 1080 The Fan.
The definitive podcast for Oregon is the Hot Corner with Patrick Harris and Joe Fisher on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
That commercial break cracked me up because we had Jason Swigard voicing a contest for tickets for the Wu-Tang concert. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, your way now to the 1080 The Fan website for your chance to win Wu-Tang tickets.
Oh, God.
Enter the Chambers Tour featuring Run the Jewels.
If you want to listen to some Method Man, you better call now.
Does cash rule everything around you?
Be the triumph amongst your friends. Get these tickets.
METHOD man. That was, we couldn't have called Rashad to maybe voice that one? Make it sound a little bit cooler? No? Oh, God.
Trying to think, if Rashad weren't available, even
The RZA, the Jizza, Spectre Deck, Ghostface Killer,
I don't know.
Raekwon the God.
Dirt and Sprague would have been more interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, at least Sprague he went to Park Rose. Come on.
God.
PIL legend. Dirt's a PIL legend too.
I was going to say, dude, Dirt's going to get offended if you leave him out of this conversation.
Damn it, and Rowdy Tellez just hit a home run.
Let's go.
Orioles Mariners tied 1-1.
Well, he was the cheapest first baseman on the market, a minor league deal, so here you go.
Still too expensive for the Orioles.
Hey, you signed Tyler O'Neill. Don't go. We'll save this for later, but you guys you put some money into players.
That was okay. Yeah, we're gonna get to this later.
We will.
We'll get to this later.
I would have been ecstatic if they went after Gary Sanchez and Tyler O'Neill, but I digress. All right.
I don't think you should be ecstatic if you went after Gary Sanchez.
I get it, but my team
if it was
can't have nice
2016, maybe you'd be excited, but it is 2025, the year of our Savior. Someone that is excited about some home runs and many home runs is the city of Corvallis. In Oregon State fans, you're going to the Super Regionals, and you're doing it, and Oregon is not. After an embarrassing weekend down Eugene, your own regional. Damn it, you were the first national seed eliminated, which I'll get to this in a bit. Not a great weekend for national seeds in general. But before we go there, Oregon State, man, they lose their first game on Thursday? Question mark?
Oregon State, I know they lost Friday for sure.
It was Friday. I know they lost their first game. I just forget it.
And that was
Thursday
a rematch against St. Mary's, who they had lost to. So, yeah, that was Friday.
Yes, and then they get their rematch on
Sunday.
Saturday
was a different team.
Saturday was
TCU. Thank you. Yes.
Saturday was TCU. They get the win there. And then they face St. Mary's on Sunday, get the win there. Face USC Sunday night,
yes,
get the win there. And then they get the win against USC on Monday night as well. And not only did they win all those games, they outscored opponents 50-6. I'm going to repeat that. They outscored opponents in 4 games 50-6.
12-run clip, Bob. That's pretty good.
Dude, they were on fire. There was definitely a point in last night's game where I just turned it off. I think they had given up 2 hits through 7 innings or 8 innings, so it wasn't just hitting. It was the pitching was on fire. They looked deep down in their loins and pulled out some great performances for themselves out over the weekend. And they still hold the crown as the perennial baseball D1 team in the state of Oregon.
I'm not surprised. It's nice to see Oregon's program getting up there, but I've always been confused by the regional and super regional format. So as a diehard Duck, I'm upset, but I'm really not. There's going to be so many more opportunities for that great program. And Wazakowski has been, basically the Duck. I think he left for Purdue briefly, got brought back, and they've been great. And I'm not worried about that. But it's really cool to see what Oregon State's doing. And they killed USC. Seemed like at least St. Mary's and TCU could put up a fight, could put up some runs, but USC basically laid down. I think it was just, a 50-run deficit over the 5 games? 25-1 against USC in their 2 games, Sunday night into Monday. It was just pure dominance, Joe.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive, to say the least. And doing it, not just hitting bombs, but bunting their way to a 4-0 lead in that first game. And it was just a masterclass. I will say, though, as Oregon gets better at baseball and puts themselves into these conversations, of hosting a regional, being in the tournament, being one of the better teams in the nation, winning the Big Ten, which I know is not as good at baseball as they are other sports, but still, that is a Power 5 conference. If you're doing those things, you gotta follow up with some good postseason action and some good postseason results. And you lost to Utah Valley, which I thought was a conference before Friday.
That's fair.
And then I'm watching the game, and they keep saying Utah Valley, and I pay attention a little bit closer, and I'm like, oh, that's the name of the school. I thought they just kept referencing the conference. And I was like, no, that is who we're playing right now. I didn't even realize. And then we lost.
A lot of good baseball talent at small schools like that. Come on.
Yeah, I'm going to have to now look up famous alumni at Utah Valley.
I'm sure there's a Major League Baseball player.
I don't even care if there's a Major League Baseball player. I just hope that there's at least one famous alumni that I know. This is the fun game. Like, this happens around tourney time, too, when, like, a team makes a run. You're like, who the hell went to Bethune-Cookman?
Yeah, what? Yeah, who went to Creighton again? Like, I can't remember. No, but are you surprised? I mean, there's a lot of teams out of the SEC that are already out of the tournament. I think I saw a graphic like 6 out of the 9 or 7 out of the 10 SEC baseball teams, which the SEC, if you didn't know, it's a baseball powerhouse conference too. They're already ousted in their regionals. So, yeah, Oregon needs to show that postseason play and that success for sure, Joe. But at the same time, I fall back on, you know what? Baseball is weird and tough in college, especially in the postseason, so it just doesn't ruffle my skirt too much. It was a pretty devastating way that the Ducks went out, and really frustrating after seeing them playing so well leading up to that point, but what are you going to do? A lot of SEC teams out as well. It's just so random, it seems, at this point, unless, apparently, you're Oregon State.
I am not noticing any Utah Valley alumni by name, unfortunately.
That's funny.
They definitely have, like, notable alumni, but I don't know any of them. I will say the coolest alumni is Akwasi Frimpong, a Dutch Ghanaian sprinter, bobsledder, and skeleton athlete who was raised in Ghana and later moved to the Netherlands.
I mean, when did he win Olympic medals and how many? I feel like that's probably the only time we'd hear his name.
I don't know if he won any medals. He's qualified, but my man Akwasi has yet to stand on the podium yet. So, yeah, it's a lot of, like, governors and other people that, again, I've never heard of before. So.
I mean, we're one step away from, like,
sculptor.
Utah Tech, the Utah Valley.
Very close.
Yeah,
very close.
We're there.
And then they went and lost to Cal Poly on Saturday. And, yeah, it was just a rough weekend when they couldn't get when they got runs or hits, they couldn't pitch. When they were pitching well, they didn't have the batting to support it. It was just a very frustrating weekend. And then when they had probably their most comfortable lead of the weekend, 8-5 against Cal Poly, they went and blew that in a week. My guy from Sherwood, I forget what his name is, but the kid from Sherwood that plays for the Ducks, he came in and bullpen help and gave up the lead in like 4 or 5 batters. I was like, come on, guy. That's not what the Bowmen do. We got to be better than that.
Not Jacob Walsh, right?
No, it was not Walsh. God, I'm spacing on his name, but I just know he's from Sherwood. Sales bro Kurt Ludwig had to inform me of that detail, that he was from Sherwood. But the Ducks, they get eliminated. Oregon State, they move on to the Super Regionals. They're going to be playing Friday against Florida State, who is also a national seed. They are the number 9 ranked team in this tournament.
And they're coming to Corvallis for that, right?
This is going down in Corvallis, in Corvegas, baby. It is Friday, 3 o'clock, ESPN2 is that game. But let's take a little break because I want to talk about these Super Regionals a little bit more because, yeah, they are not so super after all, what happened after this weekend. Get to that next, but first, Jordan Schultz with the Sports Center update.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, shocking news today in the NBA is the New York Knicks announcing they have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau after their Game 6 loss to the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Thibodeau signed a contract extension last summer through 2028. The team's still going to owe him $30 million. In baseball, the Seattle Mariners hanging on to first place by a thread, literally 0.02 of a percentage point over the Astros right now. They're hosting the Baltimore Orioles up at T-Mobile Park for Game 1 of a 3-game set. End of the second inning, Rowdy Tellez just tied it up with a whammy solo shot to right field just below the Hit It Here Cafe. Mariners and Orioles sitting at 1 apiece going into the top of the third. In tennis, the quarterfinals happening today in Paris at Roland Garros. Lorenzo Musetti topping American Francis Tiafoe in 4 sets. Tournament 2 seed Carlos Alcaraz easily handling Tommy Paul in straight sets. Musetti and Alcaraz meeting in the semis. Meanwhile, over in the women's bracket, Arena Sabalenka cruising in straight sets. She's taking on 5 seed and 4-time French Open champion Iga Swiatek in the semifinals. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
More, please. Golf in the Northwest with Jason Swigart is back. Saturdays at
Talking a little college baseball here, which Patrick Harris does not like.
I mean, the Beavers are stacked. You can't ignore it, brother. You just can't.
Maybe it's because Wazoo doesn't have a baseball team. I think that might be the reason why. It's either they don't have. No, that's not true. Because Kyle Manzardo played at Washington State. Maybe they're just not good at baseball.
That's fair.
I feel like we talked about this perhaps last year.
And he's just got a sore spot with it.
That either baseball was a club team or soccer is a club team, or they don't have baseball. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask him again.
I mean, listen, the Beavers, they traditionally at times have been a football powerhouse, at least in this area, in the old Pac-10 and the old Pac-12. But their baseball team, man, since the turn of the century, Joe, or the turn of the millennium, I guess I should say, 2000, whatever you want to say, it has been one of the best programs in college football. From Pat Casey, what he did, winning 2 College World Series, to now, you've had literal standout rosters, number 1 picks, top prospects, putting it, like seriously, the likes of Adley Rutschman, Nick Madrigal, year after year. You've got Arquette that could be a top pick, probably not, over Holiday's second son, Ethan Holiday, I think is his name, but he'll be up there. You got the likes of Trent Caraway, Gavin Turley. I mean, there's just so many guys that like Oregon State has to lean on. You can't not talk about it.
Washington State definitely has a baseball team, for what it's worth.
What was their record this year, Joe? Do we know that?
Oh, their record this year? Oh boy. I do not have that handy.
Oh, I'll try to get
schedule. Oh boy, 18-36. Ouch.
Sorry.
I gotta ask Patrick, because I want to say there was a certain sport that Wazoo doesn't have. I don't know if it was men's soccer. I'm on their page right now. Or, I don't know. I'll have to ask him. Also, for what it's worth, famous alumni from Cal Poly, much more noticeable.
Oh,
noticeable
Cal
names on
Poly's
here.
a pretty
And
known
also
school.
much more noticeable for your Mariners because one, Mitch Haniger, a former Cal Poly Mustang,
Yeah, that sounds right.
but more recently, Brian Wu.
Hey, Brian Wu, one of the most underheralded prospects in college pitching, actually didn't pitch much. He had Tommy John surgery and missed a season because of COVID, but a Mariners scout saw that they could work with his arm angle, and now he is one of the best pitchers in baseball. Unbelievable.
Go Cal Poly. Go Stangs.
Thank you, Joe.
I wish that teams made more animal noises to represent their mascot in the stands. Like when a big play happens, like
Yeah, there's
first down Dolphins.
Yeah, there's a couple teams that do it. Don't the Broncos do it?
60,000 people strong.
Yeah, Broncos fans, let me know. I feel like they've made horse neighs there before, but
That'd be great.
like y'all are drunk at a mile high, so like who the hell knows what you're doing up there?
I really hope they're doing that.
That would be cool.
I'm trying to think of some like birds want to be very like fun.
No, birds are stupid.
Like-
That would get annoying really quickly.
And that's a single for the Orioles.
It's like, shut up, I'm gonna punch you, bro.
Let's hear it, Oriole fans.
You better tell your kid to stop making bird noises, a-hole.
I think that the Ducks at the Autzen Stadium, we need like 60,000 people just quack, quack, quack.
No, we have the kazoos already, which as a Duck fan, the whatever things that you blow into, I can't make the noise very well, but like,
I don't think that came out of your mouth.
no, I don't think it came out right. But no,
Schultze
60,000.
needs new shorts.
Studio smells bad. 60,000 fans blowing through their kazoos in unison. As a diehard Duck fan, no, I can't do it.
My God. Like, I really want you to try and isolate that sound and make it a drop.
I'll see if I can find it.
Please, for the love of God. But the Super Regionals, they start this week. We do not have the number 1 seed. We do not have the number 2 seed, the number 10 seed, 16 seed, 7, 12, 11 are all eliminated. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 national seeds in this
Ooh.
tournament. 7 of the 16 did not make it to the Super Regionals, which, oh my God, my mic's falling apart on me. What the hell's going on?
Our bets' heads are falling off.
7 of the 16, I think that is a record or tied for the record for most national seeds to not make it to the Super Regional. And 13 SEC teams did not make or made the tournament, but only 4 made the Super Regionals. 2 of the teams that did not make it, number 1 ranked Vanderbilt and number 2 ranked Texas.
That's huge.
Both-
Both baseball powerhouses.
Both eliminated. Also, Ole Miss. I was watching Ole Miss last night against Murray State. They were playing Murray State. Murray State made it interesting. And my God, is there anything more unreliable than college bullpens? Because,
No.
dude, I swear, as soon as they threw this kid in for Murray State, it might have been their second or third pitcher. I'm like, this guy shook already and hasn't even thrown a pitch. And then sure enough, he gave up like a 3-run bomb. They had to go to someone else. They might have actually just rode that guy out to finish the 8th inning. And then they brought in their closer and they held off Ole Miss. But they were another SEC team to be eliminated.
Man. Hey, by the way, Beavers, the only team in the 2025 postseason to lose the opening game of their regionals and move on to the Supers.
I just read that. Yeah.
Pretty
First top 8 national seed to lose game 1 of the regional and come all the way back to win it since 2014 Louisiana.
Oh, another good baseball school, man.
How about that? Yeah, I would love to know why Patrick doesn't like college baseball because he says it's the metal bats, which I'm not buying.
I mean, Joe, I think you said it on Sports Sunday. You don't even care about college baseball until right now.
At least until playoffs, Patrick doesn't care about it at all.
I mean, it's worthy, I think, of a conversation or two at this point in the season to poo-poo it completely, but I agree with Patrick's overall sentiment that college baseball kind of sucks. I don't know if it's the metal bats. I don't know if it's just the amateurish, type of talent that's out there, because you see error after error committed, man. It gets boring after a while. I can't watch 9 innings of that. And They have weird doubleheader rules. Sometimes they don't cancel. Like a lot of teams, if there's a rain delay, they won't actually cancel the game or push it till tomorrow because of schools and schedules. They have to wait 3 hours and try to get it in that night. Like if I'm sitting in the stands, Joe, I would hate that. There's a lot of reasons why college baseball, I don't know. I see what he's talking about. It's just not the easiest product to consume.
Vanderbilt Commodores become the first ever #1 national seed to miss the regional final with their loss to Wright State on Sunday. They were eliminated. I feel like college baseball also, like I know we get upsets in college basketball, but college baseball is definitely more prone to who? What school? They won? They're good?
Yes.
Like, okay, sure. I guess they're one of the top programs. That doesn't make sense, but okay, fine.
Sounds familiar.
Also, some more fun factoids about the national seeds. Top 2 national seeds that failed to advance since 1999, because this is when they reformatted the playoffs. This is the only year that the #1 and #2 seed. Actually, I lied. It happened in 2014 as well, where the #1 and #2 seed failed to advance to the super regionals. So again, Vanderbilt, Texas this year. In 2014, Oregon State and Florida were 1 and 2, and they failed to advance.
I think I remember that.
The super regionals.
That was one of Pat Casey's last seasons at Oregon State, I believe.
Yeah, he left in what, 16, 17?
Yeah, took a 2 or 3 year hiatus and then went to LSU, I believe. Oh, God, I look up Pat Casey and the first, oh, geez.
Newberg, great Pat Casey.
Yeah, I know, but the first thing I look up on Google is the dead BMX rider. Like, okay, I don't need that. I need the baseball guy.
The one that was married to Pink?
I think so.
That is.
I'm not sure he was married to Pink, but rest in peace, man. BMX, X Games are dangerous.
Yeah, so I've heard. Yeah, Pat Casey, 3-sport athlete at Newberg High School, baby. Go Tigers.
2018, excuse me.
He was born in McMinnville. How about that?
Yeah, he was.
But the Beavs, they play Florida State. Some of the other matchups, you got Miami versus Louisville. Those are 2 teams that were not national seeds. Will be facing off against each other. ACC, by the way, with the most remaining teams, 5 left. UNC will take on Arizona. Auburn and Coastal Carolina, that's a 4 versus 13, so that's 2 of the best teams remaining. They will go up against each other in the Super Regionals. You got an SEC matchup, Arkansas versus Tennessee. Pig Suey. Come on, Pig. LSU versus West Virginia. LSU 6th ranked in the nation. I watched a little bit of LSU's game last night against Arkansas Little Rock. There was a dude that mowed down 9 batters in a row for LSU. Strikeouts. Couldn't believe it. And then he walked the next 3 guys after that. He struck 9 guys out in a row and then walked 3 straight.
And that's why college is annoying.
Pretty entertaining, I'm not going to lie. And then you got Duke, Murray State. Duke is going to be hosting a super regional.
Woo!
How about that? And then you got UCLA, UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio, the Roadrunners. That will be the Los Angeles super regional of UCLA. The other thing with college baseball, man, and I understand it, the offense is what can make this happen. Their games are so effing long.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching that Oregon State game for 3.5 hours last night.
Don't they have pitching clocks?
They do, and I feel like they don't do anything.
No, so yeah, that's actually something. So I've worked just like every year, like one Saturday or two, just because of basketball and baseball overlapping. You know, inside radio here, Will and I have to come in and run a baseball game on the board over on 910. And for some reason, it seems like those games drag on and on and on. And I hear the pitching clock. I've seen violations called, like, ball, like he didn't pitch it enough, but it's not really like enforced in the middle of innings. Like, I don't know what the rules are there, but it's not what the Major League Baseball pitching clock is.
On a random pitching baseball violation note, did you see Yoan Moncada the other day was struck out looking because he came to the plate with 1 strikeout because of a pitch clock violation?
I did see that.
And I guess nobody nor him knew and took note of that. And so he took the first 2 pitches and just, took them as
You're
if they're
done.
just, you're fine. And then he got rung up after the second one. And the look on his face once the ump like told him like, dude, you had one strike because the realization hit him.
The light bulb, yeah.
He was just like, oh God.
I mean, there's how many scoreboards? Like, I get you're locked in during an at bat. You're probably like
Yeah, but
either
nobody, not one person on the Angels was like, hey, dude, by the way, just so you know, when you go up there, you're already gonna have a strike on you.
Nice. I don't get it, man. You literally straight ahead center field, there's a scoreboard. You see what the count is. 6 different little scoreboards around the stadium also show you what the count is.
Oh, trust me,
It's on you, bud.
I put a lot of the blame on him, but also I feel like there should be someone, at least one person. I mean, for God's sakes, you got people yelling how many outs are left in the inning. Like there's some communication happening amongst teammates in baseball. And, it doesn't surprise me at all that this happened to Yon Moncada.
I mean,
also.
Does the Angels dugout have anybody that's focusing on that crap, or is Ron Washington just in there having a good time? I would not be surprised.
What happened?
Yeah, right. If there are managers that might, not be paying attention to the whole game. Case in point, Brian Snitker for the Atlanta Braves. Have you seen the rumors coming out of Atlanta, Joe?
Oh, that he's probably going to get fired for his old manager, Freddie Gonzalez.
Yeah, well, that specifically because of not only did he fail to pull Jared Kelnick when he wasn't hustling, but one of his pitchers recently, and that was like a month ago, but one of his pitchers recently got injured and I think had to go on the shelf with Tommy John, but didn't really get seen by Brian Snitker shaking his fingers 4 or 5 pitches before they had to pull him. There was I think it was Spencer Strider or one of the other starting pitchers that went to the coaches and was like, hey guys, we need to pull him out now.
Throw some Rawson on him.
Oh man, and then you see Snitker just kind of like looking on. So I don't know if Ron Wash is doing that in Los Angeles or what, man, but it doesn't shock me.
Just looking at this article talking about Yon Moncada getting the strikeout and not realizing it because of the time violation. Ron Washington's quote on the matter: "I don't think he realized it." Yeah, no S, Ron.
No. Thank you. So yes, I think what I just asked, Joe, you confirmed. If he didn't realize it, I don't think Ron Wash realized it either. Nobody's looking at the scoreboard apparently.
Yeah, he also said when I called for Moncada, he couldn't find his helmet, sort of took up time, and he got banged for time. What was going on in that?
Banged.
What was going on in that dugout? So he went up there already with 1 strike.
I love that.
Yeah.
He got banged.
I just like Ron's like stating the obvious, like, well, I don't think he realized it. Yeah, no, he clearly didn't.
That sounds like an umpire to a pool reporter or like an NBA referee. Like there was a foul that was called that should not have been called. I don't think he knew. No kidding. Thank you for the most obvious statement. God.
Yeah. Well, that's college baseball for you. And we're going to take a look at some MLB baseball because the Mariners and Orioles are in a heated battle right now. It's the beginning of their 3-game set up in T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Usually a trip I try to make, but I'm actually going to be making a different trip to go see my lowly Orioles this year. We get to all that next here. The Hot Corner, 1080 The Fan.
The Fan.
Baseball on the TV. Your Seattle Mariners versus my Baltimore Orioles.
Damn right, Julio just got on base, baby.
And the guy right after, thank God, did not get on base, nor did he go around the bases. That was the big dumper, Cal
Yeah, not
Raleigh.
tonight yet.
I was shaking in my little cowboy boots over here because he's on an absolute tear. The guy is unstoppable, and dare I say, it took a year for it to come to fruition, is the best catcher in baseball.
So what I said a year ago is now true because I got laughed at by everybody on the fan
Well,
when I made that prediction last year.
I don't think anybody saw Adley not being able to hit the ball anymore. I will say that.
But it's not even just the hitting the ball. He's the best by far, and he was at that point when we were talking a year ago about this, the best defensive catcher in baseball as well.
I won't have it.
He has the most blocked balls. He can throw guys out at the highest clip of all other catchers. He's not Salvador Perez yet to where he only can play catcher 40 to 50 games a year. Like, yeah, he is it. He is him.
Most blocked balls, eh? Most blocked balls. Let's see. Blocks above average. Oh, I'm on StatCast.
No, that, yeah.
Block opportunities.
Get into some deep stats here.
Wow. StatCast kills me.
I mean, it's almost a foreign language if you don't know what you're looking at sometimes.
It is actual combined number of wild pitches and pass balls, actual pass balls and wild pitches, an estimate of number of wild pitches and pass balls for a league average catcher, blocks above average per game.
They break it down.
Hayden Senger, baby, for the Mets.
Okay.
Dylan Dingler, great name for the Detroit Tigers. My God, there's almost too many stats here.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I am a very, very deep diehard baseball fan, but I do not know the meaning of all of those sabermetrics. So
wild stuff. Orioles, Mariners tied at 1 run apiece right now. My Orioles coming off of a sweep of the White Sox. The Mariners coming off a series against the Twins. That was quite the roller coaster, Schultze.
that was weird. Andres Munoz looked human for the first time this season against the Twins, which sucked. And not only that, but blew 3 saves in a row against the Twins. So that also sucked. They managed to salvage that series somehow, but getting into extra innings and barely able to be getting the win on chaos ball. It's not good Mariners baseball, brother.
Hey, 3 straight games of extra innings though. You got what is that? 1, 2. You got 4 extra innings since Thursday.
Yeah, and you've got a wrecked bullpen on top of that.
That's true.
I mean, seriously, the Mariners are already down in starting pitching. They're going to get Logan Gilbert back shortly. I think he just had his second rehab start at Tacoma either today or yesterday, but they've been already juggling the bullpen. And remember, Joe, this bullpen is put together with popsicle sticks and tape, and guys basically grabbed off the scrap heap and put it to the Mariners lab. The only true talents that you have in that bullpen that are lean on for, I would say, any big team in Major League Baseball talent-wise are Matt Brash, Andres Munoz, and I don't know, I would have said earlier in the season Trent Thornton, but he's had a bad year as well and now is down with appendicitis. So literally now just 2 guys.
I've had appendicitis. I had my appendix taken out. Wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Dumb quick question about that. Did you have lingering symptoms leading up to it, or was it just very quick?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I felt the symptoms on a Saturday evening, middle of the night into Sunday is when I first started feeling the abdominal section was just driving me nuts.
No, but in the couple of weeks leading up to it, anything like that?
Oh, not weeks.
No, okay.
Just a few days.
I got you.
It.
But
yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to find an explanation for his struggles early in the season. That's why I'm asking the question.
I missed my first couple weeks of freshman baseball because of that damn appendix.
Well, damn.
I was not happy. Missed the season opener my freshman year.
No, they needed your walk-off home run, dude.
They did not need me in any way, shape, or form, quite honestly. If they needed me to underthrow from a catcher to second base, I'm your man. Or overthrow into center field, which take your pick, Or if they wanted to pass ball, again, I'm your guy. But yeah, I mean, again, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. It absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
Good timing though, because I did have it during around March Madness, so I got to watch the whole first week of March Madness,
Well,
like
that
in bed and in the hospital bed. That was nice.
Yeah, it's like planning a vasectomy the right day.
Yeah, exactly. Mariners have come back down to earth a little bit since their nice little streak they were on to go 8 games above 500. They are now 5-7 in their last 12. With series losses to Washington, to Houston. Luckily, you're able to win the series against Chicago, but you were able to get this most recent series against Minnesota. It took a couple walk-offs, though,
barely.
to get that victory.
That's what I'm saying.
That series
Chaos
win.
ball. It's not good enough.
It's entertaining. Come on.
I mean, Joe, I've had a beat on this team for a while. Last year, I said,
what wouldn't you want in late May?
To not waste the bullpen and to put Andres Munoz out there basically 2 out of 3 nights, having to do that repeatedly, month after month leading up to October when you're going to need the most elite pitcher in your bullpen to actually make 2-inning saves, actually make 4-out saves. You can't use him too much this early. And along with that, it's faltering. So if you ask, Jordan Schulte, what do you want in May?
Starting pitchers to go more than 5-6 innings?
I want a team that's built correctly. I want a team that's not leaning on something that's been so above board for the last 2 seasons, their starting pitching, that they don't expect a couple of cracks in the shield to happen. Lo and behold, they've been down 60% of their starting pitching staff at times this year. All these great guys that we've seen thrown in and out of this lab, we're starting to see cracks in the bullpen as well. And they still didn't sign another bat.
But here's the thing with starting pitching. Like, I'm looking at the upcoming schedule and the projected starters. I mean, You got Kirby tonight. You got Hancock tomorrow. You got Wu. You got Miller coming up. You got Castillo. Like, once you guys get Gilbert back, you're fine.
Oh no, they'll probably go with a 6-man rotation, either with Evans or Hancock staying in there, along with Logan Gilbert coming back. So I'm hoping that because of that, and now that guys are healthy, it won't be as big of a tax on their arms as it has been to this point. Maybe that'll even things out, and the team will feel a little bit more comfortable come June and July. But it's been a weird month of May going into June, brother. It's all based on their lack of action, too, in this offseason.
Well, the good thing is that you probably got one less team to worry about in the AL West, and that is the Oakland Athletics, because, my God, they are terrible. And dare I say Oakland? I should just say Athletics.
Man, we've been calling them Oakland our entire lives. Like, just call them Oakland. I don't even care.
Angels, they don't even know how many strikes they have at their at-bat. Rangers can't hit the ball. But dare I say, they're those damn dastardly Astros. Right now, with one more win and one more loss than the Seattle Mariners. So basically tied for the division. The Mariners have a better win percentage by .002.
Yeah.
But it's this could be interesting. Those damn Astros, death by 1,000 cuts, man.
And they're doing it without Yordan Alvarez right now, too. That's the most surprising thing to me, is I haven't really been too high on Joe Espada. I know that he was there, as part of that regime under AJ Hinch and with the whole cheating, garbage can banging Houston Astros scandal. So not really a fan of those guys there still, but I just don't know how with Altuve not hitting well, with new guys on the roster, all of a sudden they're still there. I guess Vegas knew a lot more than we thought that they did, Joe, because their predictions right now, as far as the Mariners, the Rangers, and the Astros being fairly close in record, it's not too far off.
Well, they still got a dude named Framber Valdez, so that will help.
It's true.
Hunter Brown, who was one of the pitchers who I loved at the end of the year. He's already got 10 quality starts on the year. Ronel Blanco, it could be a little bit better. But they do have some solid pitching that helps out with maybe their lack of firepower.
They still got Hader, don't they?
I believe so, yes. Josh Hader, yes, he is still on the team. 1.38 ERA with 16 saves.
It's damn good.
Yes. So, the Mariners, they've come back down to earth. They've had a weird couple weeks here, but we'll see if their starting pitching can get them some lengthy outings, 5-6 innings to help get their bullpen back in the right order after some funky extra innings games where some arms might have been wasted. Right now, Orioles, Mariners tied at 1, top of the 5th, 2 outs. Runners on the corner for George Kirby. who is, let's see, how many pitches is he at right now? He's getting close. He's at 86. 86. God forbid that George Kirby throws more than 90 pitches in a single game, though.
Well, he can't because he just came back from injury, and actually, this is his best start. I believe it's his third or fourth start since coming
He's
back
been
from
rough.
the IL, and
Yeah.
it's been bad up to this point. But I guess, well, I'm still an out away from saying it's a good performance for 5 innings and only giving up 1 run, but it could be a good performance.
Hey, Ryan O'Hearn's at the dish. He's been one of our at least more consistent hitters this season.
I would love if the Mariners traded for Ryan O'Hearn. You think the Orioles maybe take like Harry Ford and a pitching prospect for Ryan O'Hearn at this point?
Well, seeing that Ryan O'Hearn's the one that seemingly is only doing anything on offense at this point, I'm going to say no.
But do you expect him to hit over 300 each season?
No,
You got to sell peak value, bro.
Listen, Ryan O'Hearn has been much better has been very good for a lot longer than I thought he was going to be. I thought this was maybe like a 1 or 2 season kind of thing, but he's seemingly been pretty solid for us for like the last like 3-4 seasons now. So
Yeah, 280 runners in scoring position. Like he's clutching up when he needs to.
So game 1 of this Mariners-Orioles series up in T-Mobile Park in Seattle. I will not be going to any games this year because I'm actually going to go see the Orioles down in San Francisco this year at Oracle Park. I'm going to go in August. And Ryan O'Hearn, that's an RBI single, baby.
Gosh darn it. Yeah, Mariners losing 2-1.
Adley struts on home, and Orioles take the lead. And we will take the lead into second hour. Got a Ohtani Judge question for you. And actually, I do want to maybe throw out some Cal Raleigh numbers because while this was mostly about the Mariners this last segment, I feel like we got to dedicate a segment to the big dumper himself. I feel like it's only right. We
Love
get
it.
to that next. Hour number 2, the Hot Corner, right here on 1080 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, some big news dropping in the NBA today. Actually, a surprising bit of news. The New York Knicks announcing they have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau after their Game 6 loss to the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Thibodeau had signed a contract extension through 2028 just 11 months ago. The team still owing him $30 million. In baseball, the Seattle Mariners hanging on to first place by a couple of hundredths of a percentage point over the Astros. hosting the Baltimore Orioles up at T-Mobile Park. It's game 1 of a 3-game set. Right now, not looking so great for Seattle. Going into the bottom of the 5th, Baltimore taking a 2-1 lead thanks to an RBI single from Ryan O'Hearn. Looks like they've got Leody Taveras, Cole Young, and Ben Williamson coming up to the plate in the bottom half of the 5th. In tennis, the quarterfinals happening today in Paris at Roland Garros. Lorenzo Musetti topping American Francis Tiafoe in 4 sets. He's going to face off against tournament 2 seed, Carlos Alcaraz. He easily handled Tommy Paul in straight sets. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now, Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's window into 1080 The Fan.
Now you kiss and Chase Utley, and that's it.
Why are you pushing Chase Utley on me? It's starting to get weird.
This is the Hot Corner.
Okay, look, I have a plan, all right? And it involves you getting this letter to him when you get out there to kiss him. Now, I have given this to Major League Baseball, his lawyer, his manager, his mom, and he has not gotten back to me, which means he hasn't gotten it yet. So just...
Did you write a love letter to Chase Utley?
With Patrick Harris and Joe Fisher.
In a lot of ways, yes, I do love him, but that is not a love letter in the way that you're thinking of it, okay? There's nothing sexual or...
Okay, that sounds good.
Pal around.
I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, read it.
Dear Chase, they're stickers.
Yeah.
My God.
On the Odyssey app.
Dear Chase, I feel like I can call you Chase because you and me are so much alike. I would love to meet you someday. It would be great to have a catch. I know I can't throw as fast as you, but I think you would be impressed with my speed. Did you have a good relationship with your father? Me neither.
And 1080.
These are all things we can talk about and more. I am sure our relationship would be a real home run.
The Fan.
Hour number 2 of the Hot Corner right here on 1080 The Fan. If you like what you're listening to, you can find hour number 1, all of our past shows on wherever you get your podcast, the Odyssey app, or dare I say, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever else you use. I cannot imagine
Rhymes with the Seattle Mariners Suckify.
I don't know what other app anybody would use. Didn't Google Podcast, didn't they get rid of that app altogether?
Yeah, I think like TuneIn, I think Stitcher still exists. I think people use Amazon for their podcasts. Like
That's
Alexa,
right, Amazon Music.
Like
yeah.
I can go say, hey, Alexa, play 1080 The Fan or play
That's
The
true.
Hot Corner with Patrick and Joe, and it'll play me the latest podcast. So
Alexa, stop playing the Hot Corner with Patrick and Joe. Please, for the love of God.
who are these yahoos?
Please.
I'm just a fill-in. I'm sorry.
Block the Hot Corner with Harris and Joe immediately.
Yeah, I think that's happened to me a couple of times.
Send FCC complaint to the Hot Corner, Alexa. Please. Is it Dogs at the Park night at T-Mobile Park?
Probably they
Yeah,
have.
they're showing little doggies.
They have a handful of those throughout the season. I like those. I can't do Little League Appreciation Day because just the number.
Well, we all
the
know that
sheer number of children.
we all know that dogs much better than little kids.
Well, yes and no, because you got to avoid some beautiful presents from, let's say there's 20, 30,000 fans there. There's probably 4,000 dogs, at most. So 4,000 little treats times 3 during the game.
Speaking of treats, this little Chihuahua's getting at it. This little husky, he was going after the Gardetto crumbs that his mom's leaving on the ground
That's so funny.
for him.
Actually, the cleaners must love Dog Night because they don't have to blow
Like,
out
my
as
God.
much of the trash off of the
Quick night
stands.
for us, boys.
Let's go, guys. So
Yeah, but I'm sure there are also some things that they have to clean up that they might have to pull out the pressure washer for.
that's what I'm saying. It's literally like 12,000 Hershey Kisses a night if it's a dog night. So
Uh-oh. The Cocker Spaniel did an absolute paint job up in Section 308.
was that a human? No, it was a dog.
Someone got a little too excited about the Mariners' victory.
There's nothing to get excited about right now.
Poor spot. Yeah, now I think about it, I'd want to go to a Dogs in the Park night.
Do it.
I don't have a dog, but
I
wanna
was
go.
like, do you have a puppy to bring?
No, I just want to go to one. Are you
I
kidding
want to
me?
get one. Once we do, well, it's going to be a corgi. We'll name it Ichiro, and we'll totally bring it to one of these nights.
I like all that, by the way. A corgi named Ichiro.
Thanks, bro.
Yes,
No.
I sign off on all of that.
I appreciate it. That has been a plan of my wife and I's for years. She got to pick. We've got 2 cats. Their names are Pikachu and Eevee, after Pokemon, of course.
I approve of that as well.
But they're both Siamese. They're the cutest things ever. Oh my gosh, love them to death. They just bring brightness to our lives, and we want a dog. And I was like, babe, I get to pick the dog and the dog's name, and she was okay with that.
How about you name your dog just Cal Raleigh?
See
The first
now-
and last name.
just big.
What's his name? Oh, his name's Cal Raleigh.
Cal Raleigh. See, dogs with human names are kind of weird.
Not
but, like,
even Cal. The whole name. Cal Raleigh.
Cal Raleigh. You like it? Cal Raleigh, come here, Cal Raleigh. Come here, buddy.
Or Big Dumper.
Yeah, there's already
Why do
like
you call him Big Dumper? Oh, you're going to find out here in a second.
it's like because there's 5,000 Mariners fans that already have a dog
Watch
with
where-
that name.
Watch where you step.
How many Orioles fans have the dog named Cal? Like, or Brady?
Well,
like, I would assume a lot.
Well, I know that Ryan Buckley, he has a dog named Posey, named
See, there you
after
go.
Buster Posey.
Yes.
I think
Great name, great
a
dog.
dog named Adley or Gunner. That'd be a
See,
good one.
and they're God. yeah,
Dog
that
named Gunner. That would work.
slides right in. There's already dogs named Gunner.
Well, I will say that Cal Raleigh, he's got that dog in him. You like what I did there?
Hey, good transition.
Because that dude is absolutely on fire. I'm gonna hit you with this. I'm gonna hit you with some stats for your ass. All right?
Lay it on me. Although, according to Bill Belichick, stats are for losers. So
Don't we have a drop of Samuel L. Jackson saying that?
we do somewhere. Stats for your ass.
Yeah, somewhere in these
Somewhere.
drops.
Somewhere.
Hello? Anyone?
Somewhere. It's okay.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
That's not it.
No, we tried.
Do you want?
We tried, and that's
Do
what.
you want to see NWA? Go to 1080thefan.com. Get your tickets now.
Swinging a foul.
God, why is that so funny? That poor man.
And it represents screw ups now on the air.
Swinging a foul.
Jesus.
I love Rick Riz too. Thank God he was okay.
All
Got an
right.
egg on the head.
Stats. Sorry. Already in 2025, the Mariners' Cal Raleigh has homered from both sides of the plate in a game, homered twice from the left side in a game, homered twice from the right side in a game, which was just the other day.
Yes, it was.
And he is the first catcher in MLB history to do all 3 in the same year.
I believe he's the fastest catcher to 20 home runs, or one of the 4th or 3rd fastest catchers in baseball history. He's hit more home runs before May 30th than any in Mariners history and possibly any in MLB history. He's on a tear.
Yeah, he does a lot of what Colton Cowser just did, and that's hit a home run to left field, baby.
Whammy! Yeah.
Colton Cowser's back.
Right into the bullpen. 3-1 lead. Hey,
that's a-
look, they called up Kobe Mayo.
Oh, and you know what? I know we got a break, but we got to get to this. Did you see what Kobe Mayo did in one of the more bitch things that I've ever seen a baseball player do?
I did not. And considering you're saying a player on your favorite team did this, and you called him a bitch must make it bad.
It was pretty bad. It was his first single, RBI single, rather, his first RBI that he ever got.
Okay.
And as the ball was getting thrown in from center field to the cutoff man, the cutoff saw that he was trying to stretch it out for 2. So then the cutoff guy throws it to second. Kobe Mayo ends up in a pickle. And as he stops to try and go back to second base, he runs out of the base path line and tries to like hit the White Sox player to make it seem like it was obstruction. And then a collision happens and Kobe Mayo hits the deck and the White Sox player hits the deck. And the White Sox players are definitely just like, dude, are you serious right now? And on replay, it is blatant that Kobe Mayo like saw him, ran out of the base path line and connected with him and then was like, ah. And then he gets up and the White Sox players were still kind of like in his face like, dude, are you serious right now?
As they should be.
And then Kobe Mayo gave the White Sox player a little shove,
Oh,
like pushed him out of the way. Benches cleared. And it was one of those where I'm like, listen, I love my Orioles. I think Kobe's got to face that on his own. I don't think you can clear the benches for that. Obviously, you see a skirmish, a little bit of pushing and shoving, then the dugouts clear out anyways. But that was one where I was like, Kobe, that you just got called up. You're getting your first ABs. You're gonna have to learn the hard way that you got to fight your own battles on this one, bud.
I think Kobe Mayo was being a bitch.
Dude, it was one of those where I'm like, bro, you come on. You can't be doing it. You just got called up. You can't be doing
Did he learn from the school of Chase Utley? Like, we literally now have a rule in baseball where you cannot slide directly at the second baseman into a double play to try to break it up because of what Chase Utley did, literally spiking a second baseman, I think, for the Arizona Diamondbacks, or one NL West opponent. But yeah, that kind of activity is highly frowned upon. There's being rough and kind of, playing outside the limits. Like, you can talk about foul baiting in the NBA or whatever, putting a hand in, or everybody remembers A-Rod.
This is essentially what it was. He was trying to bait the ump into calling an obstruction
exactly.
call.
Yeah. That's there's playing outside the lines, but this, I don't know. I think it's a little too obvious.
Jordan, I want you to look it up in the break. This happened on I just watched the replay again. It is so blatantly obvious. Like, in real time, you're like, oh, what happened there? Oh, White Sox players kind of seem pissed. And then they have an angle of it looking down from first to second, and it is clear as day. Kobe Mayo just goes out of his way to try and get the obstruction.
And he that's the funny thing, is he missed it. He leaned into him, and then on the ground's like, hey, he got in my way, ump. Come on, man. What a little bitch.
I'm sorry. That it is. I've already watched it multiple times, and watching it again today, I'm just like, God, that is terrible.
You know what? This is the kind of crap that falls under the Anthony Edwards umbrella of, after the Timberwolves are losing a series, they're down 3-1. It's like, oh, I'll see you in game 6. And he's like, well, what am I supposed to say? Don't be a total ass, bro. If you are going to lose, or if you were in the wrong here, just own up and move on. You don't have to continue to be an ass.
I think that's heads up baseball, honestly. I think that he knew he was going to be out, and so he tried to, make something happen there. You know what? I respect Kobe Mayo for that.
I don't, because he's like the White Sox
points.
The White Sox player that he's pushing out of the way on the way to the dugout. He's basically saying, "Get the F out of here," too. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. I'm tired of that. I understand the phrase, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, but just, if you get caught, don't be a little bitch. And Kobe Mayo, throughout this entire process, looked like a little bitch.
I'm telling you, that that angle, if you're listening to this show, give yourself a couple minutes during the break and try and find that, because
I'm watching it. I'm watching it right now.
I'm trying to find God, Patrick, his drop page is just a mess. This thing is just all over the place.
It's like wearing someone else's basketball shoes, trying to use somebody else's drop page. It just doesn't fit.
Yeah,
doesn't go smoothly. You end up with a bunch of blisties by the end of the game.
Well, it's not as relevant anymore, but the White Sox, after what Kobe Mayo did to him.
Nah, we ain't taking that.
I think Chuck on the YouTube has a great comment about it. Says it was James Harden level unapologetic.
I'm glad. Dude, I'm glad someone
Thank you,
that's
Chuck.
listening that saw it. Yeah, that was such mega Bush League, dude. Yeah, again, I can't even defend him, and he's on my team. But you know what I say to anybody that is talking smack about Kobe Mayo on that?
Yeah, people can kiss my ass.
God.
All right, let's take a break. Big Dumper, he's doing big dumper things. But I do have a question as far as who is probably going to win the American League MVP and his counterpart in the National League. We get to that next here, the Hot Corner, 1080 The Fan.
It's back. Your This is the Hot Corner with Patrick Harris and Joe Fisher on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
So Cal Raleigh's having a great season. He might get some MVP love, but I highly doubt he's going to win it because it's probably going to be Aaron Judge again.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't bat as high nearly with the average, but hits more home runs, maybe? Huh?
Actually, now I am curious. What is the home run league lead? Judge is batting 387.
No, his batting average is astronomical, but I believe Cal is tied for the league lead with Ohtani, right?
Yep, Cal's got 2 home runs more than Aaron Judge, but I'm glad that you brought up Shohei Ohtani because Shohei Ohtani, National League Player of the Month, Aaron Judge, American League Player of the Month. And it had me wondering, have we ever, in this point, maybe it was in the 90s with Griffey and then McGuire. I mean, this is having 2 players, one at each league, as dominant as they are, and basically head and shoulders above everyone else. Like Ohtani, clearly the best player in the National League. Judge, clearly the best player in the American League. And again, head and shoulders above everybody else. Is this the best 1-2 star combination that we've ever seen in Major League Baseball?
I mean, yeah, just because
just trying to think back over the years. I know that we've had amazing players throughout the pantheon and history of Major League Baseball, but to have 2 players that are not just doing it this season, but have been doing it for the last few seasons at their respective leagues and just, again, are the best in each league by far. Have we ever seen anything like this? The only thing that comes to mind, and they were in the same league, National League, was when, Sosa and McGuire were having their home run battle in the 90s. And then, again, you could say that, if one of them had the National League, then Griffey, he was dominating the American League, and he was head and shoulders above. But it just seems like these 2, they've been doing it. They're doing it now. They're going to continue to do it. And no one's going to even get close. It's just, you would think there would be maybe some dip, maybe some shine come off, but Ohtani might hit more home runs this year than he did last year. He's on pace for 60 at this point. Judge is batting 383 or 386, whatever I just said, 387 for God's sakes. I hate doing this whole recency bias thing, but again, has there ever been a 1-2 star combination with a player from each league just being this dominant and this much above everybody else in their respective league?
I mean, if you're looking specifically at the 90s and the steroid era, I think you could find a couple of not exact equal names, maybe comparable, like the home run chase in 98. If you were a kid then or alive or you've learned about it, that was just unbelievable. Were steroids attached? Yes. So if we're talking steroids or not, it doesn't matter, then yes, these names in the 90s, the Mark McGuires, the Sammy Sosas, Juan Gonzalez's, Mo Vaughn's, I don't think Todd Helton was on steroids, but he never won an MVP. I know Larry Walker, he won an MVP for the Colorado Rockies, but I don't know, Ken Caminiti, also a steroid user, known.
And that's
there's these names, yes, but they're not doing not only what these guys in Ohtani and Judge are doing without steroids, allegedly, but they are not even hitting close to the same numbers, home runs wise. Ohtani being the first 50-50 player ever, for instance. Judge hitting 60 is special, and the fact that both of them are going to possibly do it, or Judge could do it again, that's reminiscent to me, Joe, of the McGuire-Sosa home run chase.
And that's what I think it makes it more impressive is that all we have to reference are the steroid era. And as great as those guys were, it has the asterisk.
You're not going to compare him to Dustin Pedroia winning the MVP in the mid to late 2000s. No.
I mean, but again, that's why I really try and think back, man, into the 90s, the 80s, and far beyond. I know obviously we had great players in the 1920s and 30s and everything, but I just think that what these guys are doing in the climate of baseball where a good team average is 240, 250, and basically it has now become a pitcher's game.
Yeah, you got 8 or 9 guys hitting 300 in a season, which is just such a small number.
again, just it really is amazing, man. I think that as far as having the best players of all time, a couple of the best players of all time, like I hope they're able to just continue this for, I mean, what, Judge, he's a little bit older. He's 32, 33,
I think
maybe?
he's about 32.
Something like that. And Shohei, I don't know how old he is. He's probably maybe getting close to that age as well. Aaron Judge is 33 years old. And Shohei is, Googling, 30 years old. Dude, sign me up for another 5 years of this. Another half decade of these guys just being absolutely dominant. I give it to me all day long.
Oh, yeah. Shoot it right into my veins. And like I was saying at the beginning of the Seggy, Cal is competing. I don't think he's going to win MVP.
I feel this is similar to last year with Bobby Witt, where it's like Bobby Witt's having an MVP season. He just so happened is having it the same year that Judge is hitting 387 and has a ton of home runs again, ton of RBIs, and he's a great outfielder still as well. So
no, I heard Jeff Passan say on Seattle Sports up in Seattle today that if it was an alternate universe without an Aaron Judge in the American League, and it's, I get it. It's like saying, well, in any other draft, Scoot would be number one without Victor Wembanyama. But in that alternate universe, Cal would be the guaranteed MVP in the American League right now.
Yeah, I mean, he has the second best odds, but just, again, for context to show you, I'm pretty sure Aaron Judge, his odds of MVP are like minus 20,000 or something like that.
Yeah, what's Cal's, like plus 400 or some mess like that? And yeah, Aaron Judge is just unbelievable.
We can pull it up. I mean,
AL MVP odds.
Yeah, I'm going to the DraftKings app as we
A minus
speak.
4,000 as of 8 days ago.
Minus 4,000
from ESPN. Cal Raleigh was 60-1 behind Bobby Witt Jr. I'm assuming the last week that's changed.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and look up the futures line right now. We got player specials, live vending.
Oh yeah, you're right. No,
Great radio.
minus 20,000 via Fox Sports.
Minus 20,000.
Cal Raleigh's plus 2,500. Oh my God.
We just got to June and they're already like, yeah, he's the MVP.
60 games in. I mean,
We're
he's
like,
hitting 380.
We're done here. No need to look any further. Yeah, he's got the MVP.
Well, I guess it's just Yankees, Dodgers in the World Series, Joe. We can all just go home, right?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Baseball is probably dying for that, even though that they just got it. But Sunday Night Baseball just had Dodgers Yankees, and it was their highest rated game since 2018, which I'm sure was probably like Yankees Red Sox or Dodgers Padres or something like that.
It's funny no one's talking about that with the NBA Finals this year. Slightly off track, but Indiana versus Oklahoma City. We haven't heard the usual, two throwaway markets. Nobody cares.
Well, I mean, Isaac and Suk, they're making a good point today that the NBA might just be one of those leagues, man, that it needs a dynasty. Like, it can't really sustain the, how do you say, like, the national notoriety, the fringe fans.
Without, like, a villain or
without
something.
a villain and without a team that just keeps winning and where it's going to get those fans that maybe don't care about basketball as much, and don't want to keep track of who's the hot new team. If they know the Lakers or the Warriors or the Heat or whoever are going for their second straight or third straight, or they're going for 3 and 4 years or something like that, then it grabs a little bit more attention from there.
Yeah, sorry to get you off track, but yeah, no, I do believe baseball would love another Yankees-Dodgers World Series, obviously.
All good. Or at least Yankees-Mets. Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
Oh, a Subway World Series?
A year
My
after
God.
Soto leaves New York and the Yankees and goes to the New York Mets. Wow. I would imagine those would be pretty good ratings as well.
Yeah, well, when Soto's hitting 230, I'm not sure that's going to happen, bud. He sucks.
Yeah, it's not good.
He doesn't suck, but he is not living up to the amount of money he is being paid. I'm
It's
sorry.
not great.
You can't be a below average player. I mean, I get it. It's a long contract and over a period of 10 or 12 years, you're going to have a couple below average seasons, but to come right in and have that below average start, that's the most Seattle Mariners thing I've ever seen. And that didn't even happen to them with Robinson Cano. He actually gave them worthy production until he got popped for roids.
Yeah, so you said Judge minus 2,000, 20,000,
yeah.
excuse me.
No, you were
out of
right on that. I
zero.
love the 20,000 number.
Yeah, it just
Just
goes
insane.
to show. I mean, right now, the National League MVP odds a lot closer. Shohei is a minus 260 favorite, but the next closest is Pete Pete Henry Crow Armstrong. Are they including middle names?
Yeah,
on
what are
this?
they doing? I was like, is he Henry now? Yeah.
Pete Henry Crow Armstrong.
Yeah, PCA, man.
Plus 1,100. Fernando Gabriel Tatis, or maybe it's Gabriel. Fernando Tatis at plus 1,100 as well. Corbin Franklin Carroll.
Nah.
Kyle Daniel Tucker.
Love
at
the
plus 1,600.
Love that Corbin Carroll's had a nice rebound
Oh
season.
my God,
but-
they're going full government names on this list. Frederick Charles Freeman plus 2,500.
Did you get in like some backdoor server, like DMV records that
No,
you're reading
I
from
don't
or
know.
something? Holy yes, bro.
Okay, this kind of cracks me up. Adley's middle name, Adley Rutschman, Stan.
Just Stan. Not Stanley, just Stan.
That's what it says. Stan. I
That's
hope it's
fantastic.
Stanley.
No, I don't think it is.
Actually, yeah, I hope it's Stan. Because I'm sure he tells people like Stanley, and he's like, no, just Stan.
Yeah, it's like a guy that's named Joe, not Joseph, but Joe. It's one of
Spencer
those.
Enochs Torkelson.
Enochs.
Enochs.
I mean, Torkelson's kind of a it's a weird sounding name, so Enochs goes right along with it.
What the hell is going on? Robert Andrew Witt.
I wish more of these players went by their middle name.
Well, I will say though that baseball names are the best names, though. You know, I mean, I don't think there has been better names in sports than baseball players.
No.
I mean, Milton Bradley, Coco Chris.
Oh, on the same team, no less. You're thinking about cereal and toys when you watch the Cleveland Indians in the 90s, 2000s.
Yeah, it's a landslide victory for baseball, and maybe a landslide victory for me next because it's fair or foul. Let's see if I go 3-0 on this week's edition of Fair or Foul. But first, Jordan Schultz with the Sports Center update.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, shocking news out of the NBA today. The New York Knicks announcing they have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau after their Game 6 loss to the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. The team still owes him $30 million after just signing him to a contract extension 11 months ago. In baseball, the Seattle Mariners barely holding on to first place in the AL West. Taking on the Baltimore Orioles up at T-Mobile Park. Bottom 7, one out right now. They are losing to Baltimore 3-1. Looks like Randy Arozarena at the plate. And in tennis, the quarterfinals happening today in Paris at Roland Garros. Lorenzo Musetti topping American Francis Tiafoe in 4 sets. And tournament 2 seed Carlos Alcaraz easily handing Tommy Paul in straight sets. Musetti and Alcaraz meeting in the semis. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
It's back. The 11th annual Fan Golf Classic at Langdon Farms Golf Club happens Tuesday, June 24th. Presented by your local Toyota dealers. Reserve your foursome now at 1080thefan.com.
Hey, it's Suk from my friends at Vulcan Design and Construction. Vulcan's team helped me build an outdoor living space that is my favorite place to hang out year-round. So stop waiting on upgrading your backyard. The plans you have for a covered patio, outdoor kitchen, or like me, a fire pit for family gatherings can be taken to the next level with the help of the award-winning designs at Vulcan. And they can upgrade your indoor living space with windows, siding, and roofing too. So whether your favorite room is inside or like mine, outside, take your home to the next level with Vulcan. Online at Vulcan DC.
If the police have officers who specialize in DUI arrests, shouldn't you have a law firm that specializes in DUI defense to help you? This is McDaniel Reynolds with the Reynolds Defense Firm. We specialize in one thing, representing good people who face DUI charges. Did you know that most police agencies have officers who are DUI specialists? So which law firm would you rather have on your side? A firm that does a little bit of everything, or a firm that specializes in DUI defense? I choose Reynolds Defense Firm every time. We're solid, we're here if you need us, and we are very good at what we do.
Portland Perks. Looking for some fun that the whole family can enjoy? Right now, you can get one ride bracelet to Oaks Amusement Park and get a second one free. A limited quantity is available only at portlandperks.com. Oaks Park, where the fun never ends.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start June 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Is it fair or is it foul?
Fastball tapped at the plate. It'll trickle down the third baseline. The Mariners are going to let it roll.
A knowledge test to see how well they know the big leagues.
Ronnie Randall gets down on his hands and knees and blows on it like a curler, and it goes foul.
And what our distinguished hosts think about the stories that popped up around the big leagues.
But he got down on his hands and knees and literally blew the ball across the foul line.
This is Fair or Foul on the Hot Corner on 1080 The Fan.
Well, I know what we're doing in the last segment, and that's reading baseball names. 'Cause I got a couple lists here that are just fantastic, and some of them we've probably heard before, but I just feel like it's a tradition as old as time and never gets old. Baseball player names, but what it is right now, it's Fair or Foul, baby. Let's get it going. What do we got?
I got to start off with one between my Mariners and your Orioles, sir. We'll try to stump you. I know I usually try to stump two people, but no Patrick tonight. So, yeah, we're just going with your Orioles v. my Mariners, baby. A fair or foul? The Baltimore Orioles have a higher batting average this season than the Seattle Mariners. Fair or foul? To start you off simple, Joe, of course, the Mariners have not been one of the greater hitting teams in Major League Baseball, minus since Edgar's taken over off and on. But the Orioles last season, great. This season, not so much. So interested to see where you think their batting averages sit, my friend.
Take a sip of my water. Wet my whistle. Better batting average than the Mariners? No. I say the nay. The Orioles can't hit. They haven't been able to hit all season. Even with them sweeping the White Sox this past weekend, they won every game like 3-2 and 4-3. I would be shocked, and I feel like this is a trick question that it's like, oh, actually, the Orioles. No, I'm not buying it, though. I'm not buying it. The Orioles, no. Foul. They do not have a better average than the Mariners.
Sorry, brother. That is fair. The Baltimore Orioles are batting .238 coming into today, while the Seattle Mariners are batting .237. Unfreaking believable.
.001?
Yes, but they are still better. I wasn't trying to stump you. I was shocked when I saw these stats. Absolutely shocked. Like,
just goes to show how terrible our pitching has been this year as well.
Well, and not only that, but it just goes to show you how two teams that have a similar number of hits can have two totally different trajectories. The Mariners hitting a ton of home runs, getting a lot more walks, which obviously aren't factored into batting average, but it's just crazy, man. Baseball is odd, and you hear stats, and they don't always necessarily mean what you think they do, and a lot of times, and I've been seeing this, like ESPN always did this when we were kids, Joe. I'm sure you remember them taking stats, and you could tell they're twisting stats just to tell a story. But here, batting average does not really tell the story. We know this in baseball, but it's fascinating to even see these two teams close to each other. One leads their division, and one is near the bottom. So,
as far as home runs, Mariners with 80, Mariners with Orioles with 63.
Exactly.
With doubles, I'm gonna take a look here.
What's their base? Their base on ball difference: 219 for the Mariners to 164 for Baltimore.
More doubles for the Orioles, 85 to the Mariners, 71.
I mean, you got to hit them in, so the doubles don't necessarily matter.
Yeah.
It's home runs over the wall.
Slugging for the Mariners, 395 for the Orioles. It's 386. So yeah, I mean it's just not that much. Not that much of a difference. 320 OBP versus 303. It makes me sad.
It's kind of weird that their on-base percentage isn't the Mariners at 320, the Orioles at 303, even though walks have such a disparaging number between them, almost 60. Like the on-base percentage still isn't that much different.
Like 60 more walks for the Mariners?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me, actually. I mean, the Orioles, their discipline at the plate has just degraded over the last season and a half that I just do not understand it.
Look at strikeouts, though, for the two teams. Mariners 524 compared to the Orioles at 516. So they are almost deadlocked at that number, my friend. So,
just a tad more discipline, though.
Well, yeah, like I said, the homers and the base on balls obviously the difference, but it's just odd to see the on-base percentage not that much different between the two of them. And that just tells me that the Mariners offense, it's okay right now, but
Could be better.
It could be better, and it's not sustainable. And they can call up all the prospects they want. Just called their top prospect Cole Young up to fill the hole at second base, but they've got 2 rookies now in the infield at positions that they should have at least filled one with a free agent with. But I digress. All right, let's get into another Mariners question, actually. Speaking of their top prospects, Joe, they are obviously, as we've been talking about, probably a bat or 2 still short going up to the trade deadline. There's been rumors about them maybe trying to give St. Louis a call to pry Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals if they can get some money off the books. Ryan O'Hearn was somebody.
They might pay you to take him.
Right? Hey, he...
No, wait, no, that's just the Rockies.
No.
What is Colorado Rockies?
I mean, he's been out there at least as an option on the trade market for at least the last couple of seasons, or whispers. We were talking as well about Ryan O'Hearn for the Baltimore Orioles possibly being an option as well. There's just not too many names being thrown out yet on the trade market. It'll be interesting to see probably in about 3-4 weeks, where teams are and if there's any separation, especially in the American League where everybody's so freaking close to each other, if teams will become sellers or buyers. And yeah, right now you're looking at like the Rockies, the White Sox, and you're waiting for the Baltimore Orioles, who just fired Brandon Hyde, to become a seller as well. And because of the success of Cal Raleigh, it gives the Mariners a couple of extra options, Joe, as far as like another top prospect, Harry Ford. He is a catcher. The Mariners obviously don't need another catcher, so maybe some trade bait. Fair or foul, the Mariners will trade at least. I've asked this before, but I really think it's getting to crunch time now. Fair or foul, the Mariners will trade at least one of their top prospects for a bat by the trade deadline.
There's part of me that wants to say like foul, but also I feel like they just need to trade one of these arms. If they get Gilbert back and he's returns to form, you just have so many starting pitchers that I feel like there's got to be a team out there that is desperate for some arms for a playoff push that need just a little bit of help. I mean, I'm looking at some of the teams that are top of the divisions around the MLB. I mean, hell, maybe the Mariners say, actually, we could use as many as possible. But, I mean, a team like the New York Mets, could they be someone that's calling? But then again, I don't know what they have to give up. Could the Cubs potentially be wanting another arm to add to their stable? The Dodgers don't need any because they have $1 billion and they always just get injured. I mean, are the Cardinals looking to add to what they have with Sonny Gray and Eric Fetty? The Brewers, who are the flavor of the month, they just said they lost today, but they had just won 8 in a row. Are they going to look to add an arm? Maybe not a top prospect, but I just feel like they got to move on one of these pitchers here soon, just for the sake of to add to the pipeline and also a team that's contending that wants an arm. I feel like rubber's going to meet the road eventually, but maybe you pull in the Orioles where it's like, you know what? We're just going to accrue all these hitters and just keep them and not trade them. And we're just going to, more arms, more batters to choose from. We'll sort out the ones that are great, and in due time, we can get rid of and cut players or not re-sign them or trade them eventually. But I don't know, maybe you guys just ride this out for another year and see who is worth keeping at the end of the year.
54%, right? I mean, Jerry Dipoto loves to stockpile talent. So you're describing his ideal scenario as a baseball executive there in Seattle.
Dude, as I said, if we got some guys, if the Mariners want them, if the Mariners want some Orioles young hot prospects, young hot players, we'll take one of those arms. Gladly. Preferably Brian Wu.
No, that's not happening. You're going to get either George Kirby or Luis Castillo.
No.
You're not getting Logan Gilbert because he wants to stay in Seattle, and you're not getting Brian Wu because he's
Well, we all want things in life, Jordan, but we may not get them, all right? Logan Gilbert might just not have a choice in this, and he just might have to be a Baltimore Oriole, okay? Whether he likes it or not.
I know. You're going to kidnap him in the dark of night, throw him in your trunk, and be like, hey, welcome to Baltimore there, Logan. Oh, my goodness.
Castillo hasn't been too bad. I'm just scared that as soon as he gets to Baltimore, he's just going to be like a shell of himself.
I hear you. I do think that they're going to have to trade somebody before the deadline. They can't keep giving it bats to, right now they've got Miles Mastroboni at the plate. Donovan Solano is still on the roster. I would assume Don't know why they're still taking a chance on this guy and giving him at-bats, but I would assume by the trade deadline, they would value their at-bats going into September, into a playoff race, way more than they value them now. So, yeah, they need to trade their top prospects, or at least one of them, and I hope they do. And frankly, it was a pretty cheap cost last year to get like a Rosarena. That was like their number 14 Mariners prospect that they traded for him. All those relief pitchers cost nothing. It'll be interesting to see how much teams want this season at the trade deadline compared to last year. All right, one more for you, Joe. We've been talking a lot about the ABS, automated balls and strikes. In Major League Baseball, we saw the system tested in spring training. Essentially, if a batter or a pitcher does not like the call, they tap on their hat or their helmet, and that is challenged. The umpire then has to admit in front of everybody if it is incorrect or correct. It's one of the best systems I've ever seen for in-game refereeing and for in-game umpiring. I absolutely love it. Cut to the regular season, Joe. We have seen some botched, and I mean not by a close half an inch, not by just being right there off the edge or on the edge, but by 2 baseball lengths out of the zone, or literal down the effing middle called as a ball. It is unbelievable some of the calls that umpires are making players deal with this year. But an interesting article by The Athletic, Joe, came out a couple weeks ago talking about the possibility for a margin of error and the ABS system. Corbin Burns, he was one of the 4 MLB representatives talking to a committee about the implementation of the ABS, said that the margin for error, Joe, was close to half an inch. That's quite a bit, but we've also seen quite a bit of struggling from these umpires.
Not to me.
I mean, these umpires are making the games about themselves.
A half an inch is huge.
Yeah, depending on where we're talking about, a baseball or down in middle
Down
of my
in the
legs.
zone.
In the zone. Like, where am I going here? No, but essentially, there is a worry implementing ABS that there's going to be this margin of error in place in a Major League Baseball game. I would say the way that they're being called right now, it doesn't matter, even with the margin of error. You got to install the ABS, Joe. Fair or foul, even with a possible margin of error, we need ABS in baseball now, today.
This is fair. I mean, I think what we saw, how it worked in spring training, it's great. It's throws it back on these umps that is just like, yeah, you effed up, dude, clearly. Like, and if they were right, and then it's kind of funny seeing the players get all worked up about it. It's I think it's better than what NBA's got going on, because I want to say Nick Wright had a good idea where if any player in the NBA does the finger twirl, that like if a player does it, that's good enough to be a challenge, because you see NBA players all the time, run to their bench and they're waving their finger, review it. He said, he's like, if they do that, if a player does that, boom, it's a review. It doesn't have to be a coach. And that would cut down on players doing that. So in the MLB, like when a player goes to tap their helmet and they're like, I want a review on that, it's like, all right, boom, we're reviewing it. Very quick. Also, they turn that thing around in seconds. Yeah, it needs to be implemented 100%. It's probably, if not next year, I see it happening in 2027.
It has to be next year. I wish they would do it now, but that's not how it works in MLB. So,
all right, there's fair or foul. Appreciate it.
Swing and a foul.
God,
dude, I just can't believe that audio was that good. Like that happened. Poor Rick Riz just got
foul.
Did it get you?
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me in the head.
Poor guy.
Swing and a foul.
Jesus. All right. That does it for fair or foul. We wrap the show up next here. Hot Corner, 1080 The Fan.
This is the Hot Corner with Harrison Fisher on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
I am so excited to slurp up my favorite pitcher in baseball.
Jesus, Patrick. What is wrong with you? Don't say anything else borderline racy there that get an FCC complaint. Please. Please don't.
Who doesn't like a good rubby action?
Dude!
Doesn't have a huge load either.
Hey!
Gotta wait till 10.
What are you doing, man?
Past 10 p.m. The FCC doesn't care, but it ain't 10 yet.
That's a lot of time spending on your knees.
Whoa. All right, bud. Settle down. I hope he's having a good time in Vegas for his 40th birthday.
I hope he's doing all of those things that he just described down in Vegas. That's what it's for, babe.
Oh no, he's doing a little bit of this.
You gotta clench your fist real tight and make sure it's popping out, and you just bam,
getting into some weird stuff.
You can get into whatever down there.
I have a list of baseball player names, but that also just reminded me. I read a post on Reddit. I went down a rabbit hole. There was some, the Ask Me Anything on Reddit?
Oh, AMAs are fun. Sometimes you'll get like a celebrity that just gives you the dirty and all the details, and sometimes you have the worst one ever and they don't tell you anything.
Dude, I read this one the other day of some random guy who's like, I just tried heroin for the first time. Ask me anything. And his whole story was like, basically like, yeah, I just wanted to try it, see what it was like. I'm not going to get addicted to it. And then the next, 3-4 posts.
I'm addicted.
Yeah. I was just like, what did you think was going to happen, bud?
This is a problem, bro.
The next one was like, I'm 2 weeks into heroin. Ask me anything. I'm a month into ruining my life. Ask me anything. Good thing is the guy's good now. He's been clean for years.
Thank God.
But it was one of those where it was just he literally let's do this little science experiment and let's see if I can do heroin once and never do it again. Yeah, spoiler alert, he does it again multiple times.
I mean, I get it.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this guy for real?
There's some people with too much time on their hands out there, but what are we doing?
Chat, should I do it? Should I do the heroin, chat?
I'm going to do anything for the views, chat.
1,000 likes. I'll boof this heroin right now.
If I hit 5,000 subscribers tonight, God.
Thanks for the donation. Thanks for the sub.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat.
Thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. All right, let's fire off some names real quick. Pretzel Pizzulo.
That is a real baseball player.
That is a pitcher from the 30s for the Phillies, my man.
Not even the 1800s. The actual. Oh, wow.
No, we also got Pete Lecoq. First baseman, outfielder in the 70s and 80s.
He would be a first baseman outfielder. I don't know why, but.
This is definitely an early century name. Mordecai Three Finger Brown.
Mordecai.
Yep, Mordecai.
And you know how many fingers he had?
4.
4.5. Yeah. He actually didn't have 3 fingers, but apparently he pitched like he did. I think
the
that's
girls
where
got him
came
3
from.
finger.
Oh my God, Joe.
Granny Hamner.
Granny.
Phenomenal Smith. That was in the late 1800s.
Let's go phenomenal.
Orville Overall.
Orville's.
Say
okay.
that 5 times fast.
Orville Overall.
Greg Legg. And no, I'm not talking about Greg Olson. You've heard the rap song, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you haven't heard Greg Olson's rap song from his time at the University of Miami, do yourself a favor and look that up. I forget what their rap group was named. It was like Floor 8 Boys or something like that.
The internet never forgets.
Dude, I gotta find this. God, Greg Olson and his fellow University of Miami teammates, they had a rap group, the 7th Floor Crew. And he was G. Reg Olson.
The 7th Floor Crew.
Also called himself Greg the Leg.
That does not sound like a rap group. That sounds like an a cappella group, you idiots.
Do yourself a favor and go look up the 7th Floor Crew rap immediately. And also go look up some of these names. You got also Dizzy Trout, Mudcat Grant, Hugh High, Snuffy Sternweiss.
Hugh High.
Dude, baseball name. Boof Bonzer, Stubby Clapp, Vinegar Bend Mizell.
Vinegar.
John Walkenfuss.
Oh, that was close there.
That was really close.
That was close one. I almost jumped for the jump button.
You can get in trouble there. Dick Pole.
We all know Dick Pole.
Chicken Hawks. Cannonball Titcomb.
That can't be real.
It is. Cannonball Titcomb, 1886 to 1890, baby. All right, that'll do it for us, Hot Corner. Patrick will be back next week with all of his Vegas stories for us. He stayed there for over 3 days, which I feel like shouldn't be allowed for the city of Las Vegas. But he's doing it. He'll be back next week. We'll be back next week. Jordan Schultz, thank you as always.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you all out there.
And thank you all for listening to this version of the Hot Corner. Catch you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Peace!
Hello, friends, and welcome to